it's crazy to me that the idea that the ABC debate was actually not neutral and they were very pro Kamala Harris is like kind of stupid, because it's like, yeah, one side was just regularly lying. I'm saying it. All right, but let's get to it. Donald Trump says he is a coward. Okay, Donald Trump says he's a little baby coward. What is this? Hey, Hasan, please read this. There's a news story came out about a black man who's said to be executed for a crime he didn't commit. Can you shed some light on it? Maybe you can get people to give signatures. His name is Marcellus Williams. We'll look into it. Okay. All right. Let's continue.
He's now in the race for the White House. Donald Trump says he will not debate Kamala Harris again as both candidates hit the campaign trail in the battleground states. Mary Bruce is tracking the race. Good morning, Mary.
Good morning, Georgia. Both campaigns are out blitzing the battlegrounds, hitting those key swing states after that critical debate, as Donald Trump now says it will be their only one. On the campaign trail for the first time since her face-off with Donald Trump, Kamala Harris in North Carolina, challenging him to another debate.
2 nights ago, Donald Trump and I had our first debate. And I believe we owe it to the voters to have another debate.
Even as his aides and allies admit he was on defense almost the whole debate, Trump still claiming he was the winner.
As everyone saw 2 nights ago, we had a monumental victory.
But also saying he's done with debates.
So because we've done 2 debates and because they were successful, there will be no third debate.
I think this is some cowardly bullshit, okay? If he was dropping 10 points on Harris right now, that's valid. I mean, even then, it's not necessarily valid because, like, I think his people do demand blood, okay? It's one thing to just say, I'm not going to do any debates in the Republican primaries because, like, my closest opponent is not even 35 points near me. That's fine. That's one thing, right? That was probably a smart and calculated decision. But when the race is this fucking close, okay, when it's like ass hair like this, especially in key states, you know you don't want to do another debate because you got dumped on, okay? You got absolutely gutted. You got cumstered and dumpstered, and you don't want to do that again because it was embarrassing. And it was embarrassing in the worst possible way for you because you came in, you thought you could make light work of Kamala Harris because you saw what we saw. She's not very charismatic. And also on top of that, she doesn't handle herself, at least in prior conditions, in a contested environment. Like Dana Bash, if she came in with the same energy that she brought to the table in the not so adversarial Dana Bash interview, she would have gotten destroyed. It would have looked terrible for her. But she came in hot. She was a little nervous in the beginning. And then she was very smooth, okay? Beyond that. And this is a problem for Trump. Why is this a problem for Trump? Because a lot of people want something positive out of the Democratic Party. They're like begging. They're like, listen, I want to vote against Donald Trump, but you got to give me a crumb, okay? You got to give me a goddamn crumb of anything, okay? And the entry point to that crumb is obviously humiliating Donald Trump, which she did expertly. There's more that she needed to do at this debate, and I talked about it immediately in the aftermath of the debate as well, in terms of like offering people things that will improve their lives, openly communicating that you're going to help people. That's kind of the fundamental principle behind a democratic process where the votes are earned and not, they're not expected, right? Obviously, we've completely lost the plot on that front, but she did the thing, and she looked very good at this debate, and Trump looked very bad at this debate. So this helps her, and I think a second debate would probably help her as well. That's precisely the reason why Trump doesn't want to do it, okay? Trump doesn't want to do it. Now, I don't even know if Donald Trump is capable of going into that debate stage and just having the old charisma and the juice that he once had. He doesn't have that same is it pep in your step? She did the thing your millennial is showing right now. Wait, what? How was that? What are you saying? Yeah, he does not have the same stamina, and he does not have the same pep in his step. Okay? Trump saying he doesn't want to debate is also a negotiating tactic to get the next debate on Fox. There's no way he doesn't do another one. The Fox debate will look so insane. It has to be on neutral ground, okay? People like Trump acts like ABC was not neutral ground. It was, dog. You just can't get away with lying. Like, it's crazy to me that the idea that the ABC debate was actually not neutral and they were very pro Kamala Harris is like kind of stupid, because it's like, yeah, one side was just regularly lying. Like, that's the expectation from anyone. Okay, if we're living in a normal planet, if we're living in a normal universe and not the United States of America in 2024, the expectation should be, yeah, of course you're going to fact check. How the would any journalist or any commentator or any host of a television show let one of the two candidates get away with saying insane blood libel about like immigrants, dude? Of course you got to fact check. They didn't really fact check Kamala because there was not that much to fact check. What are they going to fact check her on? The Hamas rape situation? Like, they're not going to do that. They're never going to do that. That's equal opportunity, okay? The media is bipartisan on that front. They will lie at the behest of the state of Israel regardless. So, like, beyond that, what could they have fact checked Kamala Harris on? The one thing that they could have fact checked Kamala Harris on was when she said, oh, you used the term bloodbath, okay? I don't know why the Democratic Party still goes along with that, okay? I don't know why they still go along with that. The most that they could have done if they wanted to be a little bit more like needling on Kamala Harris's front is not let her get away with deflecting on direct questions like, do you feel better? Like, do you think Americans are better off now than they were 4 years ago? That is a very biased question. Trump received a lot of biased questions, and that was a biased question in the direction of Kamala Harris. The problem is Kamala Harris expertly deflected away by needling Trump, and then Trump took the bait, and then the conversation devolved. I mean, it just exploded in that situation. The moderator could have stood on that question and been like, please give us an answer, Madam Vice President, but they didn't do that, right? But if your opponent, this is kind of like, here's what it is, okay? With the CNN thing, I was frustrated that they didn't fact check with CNN, obviously, but my expectation was that, Joe Biden would at least do something about it, right? And he didn't. He was objectively bad and so bad that he had to, no longer run for president, right? But one thing you have to remember in this process is that beyond the actual candidates talking to one another, okay? Beyond the actual candidates that are talking to one another, like, if one side is doing a fire hose of lies and the other side is just like massaging the truth a little bit in terms of like, misappropriating what Donald Trump was saying, and that is a lie still, but that's nowhere near as big as a lie. In the effort to continue the conversation, you just kind of let certain things go. They let a lot of shit that Trump was saying go, technically. They just only fact check the most glaringly obvious insanities, okay? And in terms of like October 7, like I said, if you think that they're ever going to fact check anything that you say in defense of Israel, you must not be living in this country, okay? Like, Donald Trump said a shit ton. He said Venezuelan gangs are overtaking Aurora apartments. That's a lie too. That's also a lie. Why didn't they fact check that? Okay. Donald Trump said that, migrants are responsible for tens of thousands of deaths. He said it all. He said his regular shit. The only thing that they fact checked was basically the most egregious lies that he was telling, which is, Haitians are eating your cats, your dogs, and your pets in general. So, also, he said they were doing like genital surgery or transing immigrants or whatever. That one wasn't even false, by the way. I mean, Trump is an idiot, and he's lost his two-step. He doesn't have his mid-range anymore. Okay, he used to be able to dunk, drive to the goddamn paint, and he had a pretty solid midi. He doesn't have none of that shit no more. He doesn't have it. Okay, he could have just straight up talked about like that thing that he brought up was obviously far too specific and far too new to far too new in the media cycle. It's an old story about how under Kamala Harris, like when she was Attorney General, I think she allowed trans prisoners to get surgery or something. That's basically what it was about. I don't even know the exact details, but it was K-File did another investigative piece on it. Here, we'll look at it. But technically what Donald Trump was trying to explain, okay? Here, this is it. Harris told the ACLU in 2019 she supports cuts to ICE funding and providing gender transition surgery to detain migrants. So it's not wrong, but he f***ed it up because he couldn't even get away with saying what he was trying to say. Okay? He was just like, you're doing illegal aliens or forcibly being transed in prisons or whatever the fuck. And it was like at that point you're Bidening, okay? You're Bidening out. You got a point that you're trying to push and you're having a hard time because people are going to listen to that. People are going to listen to that and go, what the fuck are you saying, dude? But once again, this is a very reverse Biden situation for Donald Trump. Why? Because Biden was so bad at the debate that people didn't pay attention to how bad Trump was. I talked about how bad Trump was. If you recall, Felix also brought this up as well. If you remember, Trump was dog shit at that debate, but it didn't matter because Biden was so bad. He imploded so catastrophically that nobody even cared about what Trump was saying. Okay. This time, Trump was so bad that people didn't even pay attention to certain lack of policy from the Kamala camp. They're still going on the vibes-based shit. Okay. Do you understand? Because Trump is so unimaginably crazy right now on the timeline, up and down. He is so extremely online and so invested in pumping out QAnon grandparent talking points that he saw on Facebook headlines with articles riddled to the brim with AI art that it's virtually impossible to pay attention to Kamala Harris's weaknesses. Okay? Because Kamala Harris has weaknesses. She did a great job needling Trump, but there is a shit ton of weaknesses that she has not addressed. A lot of the same questions that people have for Kamala Harris, I'm certain they still have for Kamala Harris. I don't have answers. I don't know, and I pay pretty close attention to it. No way she's perfect. No, she's not. She's not perfect. You guys are insane. Kamala Harris is doing a solo TV interview while keeping it to local news. She's participating in a taped interview with Brian Taft of Action News 6, ABC, a local station in Philadelphia. The interview will air on the station's 6 p.m. broadcast. Good stuff. We'll see. I do hate that the post-Trump era of American politics have unironically caused people's expectations to be even lower from whichever party that they're voting for. And it's unimaginably frustrating to sit here and think about that every day. Think about the conversations that we were having on the left in terms of advancing certain policies when Bernie Sanders was running against Hillary Clinton. Medicare for all, okay? Significantly better labor protections. Free college, okay? Eviscerating, gutting student loan debt, okay? Doing massive student loan debt relief. All of these things were tangible. Raising the minimum wage. These were all real policies that American people were talking about, okay? Criminal justice reform. Voting rights restorations. These are all things that even the residual impact of this carried on into the 2020 cycle as well, where Joe Biden was like, I'm going to do the public option. You know, it's all gone. It's all gone. There is nothing. We have devolved And the reason why, moving away from fossil fuels. Yes, a green economy, a focus on renewable energy. These were like things that at least the Democrats would like run on. And we just got none of that, dude. None of that. Drill, baby, drill. Whether you're blue or red, doesn't matter. We're drilling, okay? And you can't do a goddamn thing about it, okay? It's crazy. It's crazy. It's crazy that like on immigration, we have just, we are bouldering towards Adolf Hitler, straight up, telling you, watch the 04 and 08 presidential debates. It feels surreal. Yeah. And Trump definitely collapsed the expectations for sure, because he ran on vibes too. He ran on a lot of vibes. Big time. So now, because of his incompetence and because of how much of a like entertainment magnet he is, okay, ultimately the Democrats can kind of get away with just also not really doing anything in terms of like launching any kind of progressive policies, solutions, prescriptions whatsoever, and just like looking to carve out 10,000 votes in Georgia and maybe 20,000 votes that might be like Trump Republicans but are in the margins in Pennsylvania, and hope that like this race will swing in their favor. Oh, it's really crazy. CNN Harris campaign internals. PA looking rough. Michigan and Wisconsin look best internally. Pennsylvania looks rough, though very possible. North Carolina is feeling better to them this time around than Arizona. Nevada and Georgia both seem possible, though challenging. Michigan and Wisconsin are looking the best. That's a crazy take. There has been a huge amount of environmental progress in the last 4 years, probably more so than any other 4 years in the U.S. The administrative wins have been huge, and IRA/BIL are the largest climate investments of any country in the world. Okay, I wouldn't say of any country in the world. China's right there, brother. Come on now. No, he's not. Fango Lives is not wrong. No, he's not wrong. Guys, he's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. He's not wrong. Stop. Just because we don't hyper focus on the Brandon accomplishments does not change the reality that, like, yes, there have been achievements under the Biden administration in terms of climate policy. The issue, on the other hand, is like we're burning the candle on both ends. He will understand and admit to this as well. What do I mean by this? On the one hand, we're making renewable energy investments. I agree, and that's a good thing, okay? Not necessarily campaigning on it, which I think is a major flub, but we're not going to talk about that, okay? You got like battery plants opening up in like the middle of the country. Those are good things, okay? And they're unionizing too, okay? But on the other hand, and he's right, U.S. is becoming the largest oil exporter. And on top of that, the Supreme Court gutted the regulatory agency's mechanism for regulation. Like, so on the one hand, we moved 2 steps in the positive direction and moved 11 steps in the negative direction. So it's really up. It's really, really, really bad. It is really bad. I'm just talking in terms of like America's future prospects in being a renewable energy provider on this planet, or even being remotely competitive with China in terms of renewable energy investments. I think we are so far, we are left behind on that front. It's terrible. Oh, it's terrible. And when the Harris campaign is not touting the legislative accomplishments of IRA, for example, or like even from the perspective of like opening up new manufacturing fronts in the United States of America, and just simply talking about all the new jobs that were created under the Biden administration, which is good. You could say that. Yes, there's a post-COVID recovery bump, but like beyond that, if you don't talk about like new manufacturing plants opening up, the fact that they're unionized as well on top of that, and how much investments into the renewables is actually good for the future of the country, and on the issue of energy, the only thing you say is drill, baby, drill, and I'm never going to stop fracking. That's the takeaway for people. And that is going to have even worse, more significant consequences in terms of political discourse in this country, because it's the same principle behind the immigration stuff, right? The same principle behind the immigration stuff, where it's literally you're saying, I'm hyper focusing on fracking and I'm pro fracking. That's the only position that you need to hear from me in terms of like what I believe we must do for energy. You have no interest in pushing and defending your agenda, even if it's beneficial. Okay? You have no interest in advocating for the good things that you've done. That's why I'm so frustrated with the Biden administration, and that's why I'm so frustrated with the Kamala Harris campaign. These guys on the Republican side do such a phenomenal job by exposing their messaging weakness, okay? Their messaging weakness on this front is mind-boggling, okay? Mind-boggling. Like, Republicans for the past 4 years have been crying about 85,000 IRS agents, okay? 85,000 IRS agents. They all got guns. They're coming to your house and they're going to take your trailer park away, okay? That's how they're presenting it. Meanwhile, the IRS has been able to collect billions of dollars in taxable revenue from avoiders, okay? From people who have not only through legal mechanisms, which there's plenty of, avoided taxes harder than the top of the hour avoiders that avoid the top of the hour ad break by subscribing for $6, even though it's September right now, so it's 30% off, or for free with a Twitch Prime, okay? Yeah, they got those from millionaires, okay? From millionaires. The IRS took back billions of dollars from millionaires, not regular working class people. The IRS is also prosecuting Coca-Cola for being a tax dodger to the tune of $16 billion. And you're out here not putting that as like the top, like not using that every goddamn day, talking about how the FTC is going after Amazon. Like, these are things that you should be messaging, but the Democrats don't, because they're terrified that corporations are going to get mad at them. Their corporate subsidiaries, their real donors, the actual constituency they care about is going to get mad at them, and they're going to pull support, okay? That's why they don't run on that shit. And it's genuinely upsetting. This administration, beyond being, very obviously permanent genocide in Gaza, pro-permanent genocide in Gaza, which, by the way, I'm running the 3-minute ad break right now, by the way. But outside of that, this administration has been significantly more progressive than the Obama administration even, okay? This is something that I have openly recognized. Pulling out of Afghanistan was phenomenal, okay? It was the right thing to do, and the Biden administration did that. It requires a lot of bravery. It requires burning a lot of goddamn social and political capital to do so, and they did that shit, okay? They never defended it. Insane. They never defended it. You just completely capitulated to the right-wing framing from the media and the Republican Party on that front. 13 of our best soldiers died. 13 of our best soldiers died. Now the Taliban is doing tricks on it. They're doing trick shots with the Blackhawks that they got from us. Ridiculous. It's right there. Just say 67 of our best soldiers died in Afghanistan under the Trump administration. 13 died when we were withdrawing out of Afghanistan. Of course, it was going to be a complicated process. Of course, it was going to be bloody. Not a single veteran needs to die. And that's precisely why we did the right thing. Because when you don't have troop presence in an active war zone, they don't die. Okay? That's it. That's all you got to fucking say. Shut them the fuck up. Trump did not have the bravery to actually pull out. He negotiated the terms. Biden actually followed through on it. That's leadership. That's bravery. Okay? Leaders have to make bold decisions sometimes, okay? Brave decisions sometimes. But then they also have to defend it. And if you don't defend it, if you don't message around it, then no one gives a Take accountability for the false information you've shared. Damn, this communist with a Gucci bag is straight yapping. Bro has a Gucci bag. He literally financed an ultra-capitalist company that flies Chinese workers to pay them below minimum wage, says he's a communist. What a joke. What? I have no idea what the you're talking about, dude. But yes, I do have a Gucci bag. What is this communist opinion? I fly Chinese workers? What? To pay them below minimum wage? Is this a new talking point? What are your thoughts on Trump not doing future debates? He's a pussy. He's a coward. Why would corporations be mad that they're messaging on going after them, but not be mad at actually having the government go after them? I think in an election cycle, you're making assurances to corporations by not messaging actively against them. I've seen you do it. Hasan's Gamba support group. Thank you for the 521 gifted subs. As one of Hasan's Chinese workers, I can tell you he treats us very well. The Chinese workers who assemble designer bags in Tuscany. Many companies are using inexpensive labor to manufacture handbags that bear the coveted "Made in Italy" labeled. Is this what it is? This is from 2018. I doubt this guy has ever read anything, let alone a New Yorker article. But I do want to know how he tied it together. This guy would be hard right-wing if we were living in Turkey and support these gray wolves or whatever they're called, Lamau. He only pretends to be a leftist because he hates white men. Yeah, I am a famous defender of the ultra-nationalist far-right gray wolves. Famously so. Brother, just say you don't know anything, okay? And you're just hallucinating positions and move on. Anyway. Bro heard like 3 talking points you can't remember. I know. Where are these coming from? Yeah, bet this is the first time gray wolves are even mentioned here. Wait, you're joking, right? This says all. No, you idiot. I have regularly covered ultra-nationalist movements in Turkey, including but not limited to the gray wolves or MHP, and how damaging that is. I've also even talked about why I hate NATO and directly tied it back to the fact that NATO and the CIA basically created the ultra-nationalist Turkish movement that funded and facilitated these right-wing paramilitaries that ended up killing Kurdish communists in Turkey. You wouldn't know any of that, though, because you're an idiot. You're just imagining my positions, and it doesn't even matter for you because it's not about like actually figuring out what my worldview is. It's about trying to, okay, why are there no clips of that? I see clips of everything else possible from you. Do you think it's my fault that you haven't actually done your research on this subject matter? You think you've watched every single ounce of coverage that I've put to this? I am currently, first of all, yes, there are clips of that. There are YouTube videos entirely dedicated to this. But what is really funny about this is like, this is your fault. You should have put the keywords in and searched it up. It's deliberate, but keep pretending otherwise to save face before your chat. Why do Turks subscribe to racial fascism at Euro 2024? Player flashes gray wolf symbol. This is a 19-minute video specifically covering how ultra-nationalism in Turkey is a genuine problem. Okay? Hasanabi Turkey right wing. Is ultra-nationalism rising in Turkey? Hasanabi reacts. What's happening in Turkey? There are a shit ton of videos. The problem is you don't care. The problem is you don't actually give a shit. Now you're trying to double down and be like, you're just trying to save face. Where's that chatter? What was his username? I like that this guy basically came in and straight up said, I'm sorry, I have not done my research, and that is entirely your fault, and I'm also making up positions. I've hallucinated. 49K views from a random channel, not your channel. Who was talking in the YouTube video that you just watched? That was me. That was my words. Those were the words that were coming out of my mouth. It was me talking about this issue. You yourself don't promote this content. This has to be the dumbest person on the planet, right? He's going to tweak Hasan. It's okay. You're being baited. Ever since we covered that one guy yesterday who came in and was like, you're lying about Springfield. You're lying about Springfield, and immediately doubled down and was like, okay, maybe I was wrong, but it's good that you maybe I was wrong, but it's good that you actually showed the proof. Officially denounced the Grey Wolves, make a video about it. I want to see at least 100K. Okay, dude, suck my cock, you little baboon. Shut the up. Oh my God. Oh my God. I'm sorry that like the videos did not reach your metric of success. Like, who the do you think you are? Who the absolute do you think you are? You said I never talked about it. I showed you a bunch of videos where I have, and now you're like, well, they didn't actually get enough views. My bad that people don't give a shit about it as much. You know, it's not my fault. I think the reality, yeah, and also I talked about the Grey Wolves here as well, for the record, and this one has 200,000 views, so you know we've already hit that. It's crazy. These brand new accounts are all professional trolls, dude. Stop raging at them. Okay, we're gonna move on. I do think it's kind of funny because he's gonna be like, well, it's only 200,000 views. And it's not directly a video of you being like, I denounce the Grey Wolves. And then he's going to be like, oh, it sucks. It's not even 100,000 views, you know? Yeah, you can make an argument about that directly on any issue. You could be like, Hasan, I haven't seen a single video of you covering, you know, how pro-abortion you are, you know? You need to make a video just straight to the camera and being like, I believe that women should have a right to choose. And then that short video that you make straight to the camera has to get 1 million views, or else I will not believe it. You need to go and facilitate an abortion. They actually don't care about what they're talking about. They just sit in Discord and attempt to unlock the stream so they can live with their buddies. I know, but that's like really sad, don't you think? Like that's a really, really sad thing to do with your, like we all have a finite amount of time on this planet. Okay, we have a limited amount of time on this planet. We're all going to die. Every day, we are closer and closer to death. One must ask the question, is this truly how you want to spend that finite amount of time you have? Is that what you want to do with your time? Do you think this is a valuable use of your time? A better troll could have easily found, if they cared enough and they wanted to actually troll, they could have easily just like found a video of me making jokes about the Grey Wolves and then acted like I wasn't being sarcastic and totally said I was serious. They don't even do that anymore. They just have given up. Trolls have completely given up at this point. Okay, let's continue. Trump is taking questions at the LA presser. Defends Laura Loomer. Dude, I think Trump is definitely Laura Loomer, by the way. I mean, he's not. I think he's ace. So I still believe that, but I think it's really funny to say he is. All right. We're gonna get to the Laura Loomer stuff in a second. Let's continue
ahead of
with
the
this.
debate had the candidates roughly tied. Now a new Reuters Ipsos poll has Harris leading Trump 47-42. The Harris campaign reporting they raised $47 million in the 24 hours after the debate, their biggest haul since the day she joined the race. That Reuters Ipsos poll also showing that 53% of voters who heard anything about the debate said Harris was the winner. Only 24% said the same about former President Trump. On the trail, Harris arguing the debate shows Trump is a man of the past without a plan for the future, signaling out the issue of health care. At the debate, Lindsey Davis asking him if he has an actual plan to replace the Affordable Care Act, known as Obamacare.
Obamacare was lousy health care, always was. It's not very good today. And what I said, that if we come up with something, and we are working on things, we're going to do it and we're going to replace it.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan.
That shit was so funny. It is very Simpsonian. It was very Homer. I have concepts of a plan.
I'm not.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan?
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
Harris.
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now. When you're president, you start making plans. That's how it works. He used to do this shit all the time. It's pretty funny. He would do this all the time where he would go, I'm going to deal with Afghanistan. And then they'd be like, what are you going to do? He's like, I can't tell you because then the enemy will know. I can't tell you what I'm going to do. I don't want to let the enemy know. An actual child take. I know, but like, here's the problem. Here's the problem. What do you mean he used to do it? He literally did that last week with Lex. Yeah, he used to do it. He still does it, but he used to too. Okay. That's my point. Like, He did this when he was running for president in 2016 and then successfully became president. He did this during his administration, and he never really stopped doing it. Now, the one thing you have to understand, yeah, Mitch Hedberg, shouts out. Rest in power, Mitch. So what you have to understand is in this time frame, okay, over the course of the past 8 years, 9 years, I genuinely believe that the broader electorate and their demands have gotten dumber as well, both on the Democratic Party side and certainly on the Republican Party side. On the Republican Party side, I think that the electorate has gotten way more like insane, hysterical, and primed to believe like whatever kind of psychotic thing that Donald Trump says is real, especially if it corresponds to their personal biases that they already had. Like immigrants are bad. So like you can say anything about immigrants and they'll believe it and they'll just like advance that. They'll be like, no, it's definitely true, right? No matter how insane. And I think COVID greatly accelerated this process as well. But beyond that, like the number of people that also aren't really looking for any seriousness from either candidate has grown, I think. Or maybe they always were like this, and I'm just like more annoyed by it as years go by, you know? Because I feel like there is just no interest whatsoever. There is no interest whatsoever from the Republican base for Donald Trump to be like, here's what I'm going to do. Okay? Praying you stop stuttering. I will never stop stuttering. It'll happen. It's the Brandonization of the Hasanabi broadcast, just like the Brandonization of Donald Trump. I think it's funny how the voters get dumber along with our elections, makes it aesthetic. Yeah. No, that is what's going on, though. That is what's going on. On the one hand, okay. Hold on one second. Are you going to get Trump affair with Loom and Laura? Yeah, we're going to talk about that. He's piping. He's lit. He's piping that shit, dude. He's hitting that. That's right. He's hitting that. Sometimes you take asshole chatter's comments and try so well. I don't know how you do it, and don't always flip the fuck out. I'm in a good mood because I hit 320 for 3. So I'm in a fairly good mood right now.
It's now mocking that answer.
He said, concepts of a plan. Concepts. No actual plan, concepts.
Still, the Harris campaign maintains she is the underdog, launching a more aggressive phase to build off her debate momentum. Now, Kamala Harris will be back in must-win Pennsylvania. Today, Donald Trump is in Nevada and out in California, where he's supposed to be holding a press conference later this morning as the final sprint to Election Day now ramps up, George. Also,
Mary, the former president, been traveling the last few days with this woman, Laura Loomer, social media influencer.
Dude, I do love this. I said it. As soon as I saw Laura Loomer as soon as I saw this demon on the plane, I was like, how is the media not covering this? Remember, like, she is such a target-rich environment. It makes no sense for Donald Trump to be close to her. She is an insane person, okay? She is an insane person, which is hilarious because she has no base. She's an insane person with no constituency, okay? No constituency whatsoever. Didn't she call that one Senator Gate Lindsey Graham? Yes. There is no reason for Laura Loomer. There is no reason for Laura Loomer to ever be anywhere near any campaign whatsoever.
Very much.
Unless there's a different reason for why she's there. Here is Laura Loomer saying, I just ate dog food. It's human grade, which means you and your dog can share a tasty, nutrient-dense treat together. Order yours today. Roger Stone said it's gross. That's how bad it is. Please stop showing her. My kids are in the room and they're sobbing, says the DUI champion. Friend of the show, Ken Benzinger, wrote about her for the Times. The former activist's decision to elevate Laura Loomer, a far-right activist known for racist and homophobic posts online, has stunned even some Trump allies. Yeah, it makes no sense. Like, it's one of those things where it's like, who is this for? Who is this for, really? Like, who are you? Who did you make this decision for? Because I am once again saying I do not support all women. Some of them are uggo. It's for me, I think. It could be for me because I think it's funny that he's doing it. But like what is the political calculation to having someone like Laura Loomer by your side? Because now you have to inevitably defend her, which is weird because you already have this issue with JD Vance and she is somehow objectively worse than JD Vance. Like, she literally is both uglier than JD Vance, like hard to look at. Okay, JD Vance also looks kind of weird and creepy and gross, but like she has no benefit. Like there's no added value to the campaign to bring Laura Loomer around. There's got to be something. She's horrifying to look at. She literally has tried to Nazis. She herself has had a lot of groiped up far right Nazi takes. Tell Andrew I'm going to ban him. You know those two are making the humidity on the Trump Force One rise to 70% pure stank. He's going to give her a little leather football baby that comes out already with fillers and Botox bloat. Hasanabi to distract us with her good looks and rockin' body. Yowza. Humana. Oh, baby. Like, Trump is already not doing great, okay? He was smooth cruising when he was going up against Biden. And then, obviously, the race changed. And it was already a difficult one for him to win from this point on. But then he just, like, keeps adding, it seems, new game plus difficulty for no reason. He's just like, nope, I'm going to make this as difficult as possible for me. I don't care. I will win again, but this time even harder. Also, is that Van Cleef, chat? Is Jason the Ween hanging out with Laura Loomer? Every time I see Van Cleef now, I'm assuming that Jason the Ween has been there. Yam Queef? Has Jason the Ween... This is like a Baby Gronk was rizzing up the... Baby Gronk was fighting the Rizzler to rizz up the Livy Dunn. Has Jason the Ween of FaZe Clan actually been hanging out with Laura Loomer? Jason the Ween of FaZe Clan is known for giving everybody Van Cleef bracelets that a lot of people are saying he got from Temu. And many people are wondering, since Laura Loomer, the alt-right neo-Nazi, has been hanging out with Donald Trump a lot, and she's been prominently featuring Van Cleef bracelets and Van Cleef necklaces, which has led a lot of people on TikTok to speculate that Baby Gronk and Jason the Ween have probably been hanging out with Laura Loomer. I just alienated 98% of people over the age of 30 in the audience right now that have absolutely zero idea what I'm talking about. It's one of those jokes that's like funny for 8 total people in this chat that actually watched me collaborate with Jason the Ween. Bro, you just made me realize I'm turning 30 in 2 months. I appreciate it. Yeah. What the is a Jason Ween?
Influencer, very controversial for racist comments about Kamala Harris, suggesting in the past that 9/11 was an inside job, and that's drawing fire even from...
Why is that the only thing that you guys talk about? That's like a defensible position, dude. Holy shit. She has done way worse shit. She is banned from virtually every application, like not just social media in the past. Like when she was banned from Twitter, she literally chained herself to the door of Twitter headquarters, okay? She started an ISIS club in college because she thought liberals would join it. I don't know if that's real or not, but I'm going to go on with it anyway because it's funny. But the Twitter thing is real. She got banned from every application. Uber, Lyft, every single one because of her relentless Islamophobia. There are so many things. I don't believe that Twitter-ish. Okay, here. She got banned from like Uber Eats and shit, bro. She is like just look at her goddamn, look at her background. Laura Elizabeth Loomer, born May 21st, 1993, is an American far-right political activist, internet personality, conspiracy theorist. She was the Republican nominee to represent Florida's 21st congressional district in 2020 House of Representatives primary. She also ran to the Republican primary in Florida's 11th congressional district, losing to incumbent Daniel Webster. She has described herself as pro-white nationalism and a proud Islamophobe. Loomer has worked as an activist for several organizations, including Project Veritas, the Geller Report, which is Pamela Geller, who is a far-right terrorist herself. I think her daughters were like memers on Instagram and they got canceled too because her mom is like a rabid Islamophobe. She worked for Rebel News and InfoWars. Loomer gained notoriety as a result of being banned from numerous social media platforms, including Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, payment processors, vehicles for hire, and food delivery mobile apps. Bro, she doesn't even have the weather app on her phone, okay? She turns on her phone, it's a brick. She got banned from the weather app. How do you even do that? Anyway, I'm joking about the weather app thing. All right. For various reasons, including violating policies on hate speech and posting misinformation, Loomer has also been banned and removed from events and had her press credentials revoked for harassment and causing disturbances. In April 2023, it was reported that Donald Trump wanted to hire Loomer for a campaign role. However, the idea was said to have been met with heavy resistance from Trump's team, as well as warnings from Marjorie Taylor Greene over hiring a documented liar. Since 2023, Loomer has written and posted false claims about the Israel-Hamas war. Loomer and her two brothers were raised in Arizona, yada, yada, doesn't matter. Here it is. Between 2015 and 2017, Loomer used a concealed video camera to record a conversation with Barry University officials discussing the idea of starting a club called Sympathetic Students in support of the Islamic State of Iraq and Syria. The school apparently asked only that the club's name be changed to Students in Support of the Middle East. James O'Keefe of Project Veritas, a right-wing organization known for producing secretly recorded and deceptively edited undercover audio and video investigations about media organizations and left-leaning groups, released a video to Encounter alleging that it captured a university official unfazed by the idea of an on-campus organization to support ISIS. Shortly thereafter, the university suspended Loomer for violating the student code of conduct, and a professor shown in the video filed criminal charges against her for recording him without his knowledge. At the time, Loomer was an honor student in her senior year and the president of Barry University's Young Republicans Club. According to a Hillary campaign official, Loomer and two other women posing as Clinton supporters attempted to entrap campaign workers into accepting illegal cash donations. In July 2015, the official said the campaign had complied with the law. These guys are some of the most insane freaks out there, okay? Remember James O'Keefe? That freak who used to run Project Veritas, but obviously people that were donating to Project Veritas were like, what the are you doing, when they found out that he was embezzling funds to fly Project Veritas members to go and watch him do Oklahoma, the Broadway musical. Like, he is such a musical fan, just like Donald Trump, by the way, that he was like, yeah, I'm going to take all this money that you guys gave me, and I'm going to make everybody fly out and watch me do Oklahoma. So they fired him. Wait, Donald Trump loves musicals? What do you know about that? Wait, you didn't know that Donald Trump is a musical head? Are you kidding me? How the fuck do you guys not know this? Have you guys never heard Donald Trump talk about like Phantom of the Opera? Why do you guys think I always say he's my zesty king? Like he loves musicals, bro. Are you kidding me? Donald Trump, Phantom of the Opera. The only time when you see a spark in his eye is when he's talking about
this beautiful letter I get from Andrew Lloyd Webber, who was big before Phantom, but nothing like Phantom. And he did Jesus Christ Superstar, which was another great one. He did a lot of great things. But he said, because he lived in the building at Trump Tower, he knew me a little bit. And he said, I'd love to have you as my guest. I'm opening up a musical called The Phantom of the Opera. And I said, oh, so let's go. So I say on the letter, okay, I'll go. And anyway, we went. And it opens with the chandelier and this. You've been there, right?
Yes,
You've seen
yes,
it.
yes.
Do you agree? It's like,
first time I saw it shocks you when the chandelier drops.
No, but
You guys didn't know this? I mean, this is like, sometimes I forget that there's people in here that just like are unfamiliar with like all of my commentary, but this is a classic, dude. Donald Trump is a very, very zesty man, okay? Very zesty man. Also, he's literally like, I think he also tried to produce a Broadway musical and it failed and it like altered the trajectory of his life dramatically. Donald Trump's one-show career as a Broadway producer, if Paris Is Out had been a smash, we might be living in a different. If Paris Is Out had been a smash, we might be living in a different America. I've watched you for years. I swear to God, you've never talked about this. No, I've definitely talked about Donald Trump loving the arts, bro. He blew a kiss at Hulk Hogan. Like, what are you talking about? He loves his little boys and girls. He loves a good performance. Okay. He loves a good performance. Why do you think he always talks about how hot his generals used to be or how hot his military men were? He loves a man in uniform, okay? What the You're the biggest Trump stan in the universe? I mean, yeah. I've definitely brought up the Donald Trump. I've definitely brought up Donald Trump's. I never brought this one up, but I definitely brought up Trump's love for musicals.
the whole thing was great.
magnificent.
It was a great, great musical. He said, but I'm opening a musical called Phantom of the Opera. And I'm saying to myself, all right. Now, I get many letters like that. I still get letters like that, except it's a little hard when they make you put masks on and do this thing. I mean, you know, I think Broadway, you still have to, it's brutal. It's brutal. I mean, if you had a Broadway theater right now, it just is just after.
Well, plus the city. What's happened to the city?
Plus what's happened to the city.
Look, it just closed after, what, 40 years? This letter is from inviting you to opening night. The reason I want to start with that, it just closed last week.
Yeah, no, it did. It did. It was very sad.
Because of what's happened to the city.
I think I know why it closed beyond that, but I think it's, you know, you got to have a lot of things going right, and they get so politically correct. But it did close, and I would think it's very hard to open on Broadway, have anything on Broadway. But Phantom was one of the greatest of all. So I go in and I see this music. I said, this thing is unbelievable. It didn't take long because the music is so good. By the time we had intermission, it was like, I said, this thing is incredible. And by the end, you know, with the whole thing, with the gondolas and the candles and the whole thing coming out and the great music, and we play a lot of that music. I mean,
Dude, this one I didn't know either. Shouts out to the chatter who brought this up. Trump calls Ocasio-Cortez Evita in new book, American Carnage. President interviewed for book on Republican Civil War. Comparison to Eva Peron indicates respect for Democrat. Donald Trump has compared Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez to Eva Peron, saying that though he first saw the New York congressman ranting and raving like a lunatic on a street corner and thinks she knows nothing, she has a certain talent. That's Evita, he said. On Sunday, Ocasio-Cortez seemed to welcome the comparison. I know that, like every woman of the people, I have more strength than I appear to have, Evita Peron. He is legitimately, yeah. Oh, Trump had cats in Phantom of the Opera played to soothe him, a new book claims. Trump has long loved Andrew Lloyd Webber. His staff members used that to their advantage. Many of you will also remember he had a penchant for drag as well. Here is Donald Trump participating. He's not in drag, but Rudy Giuliani is.
You know, you're really beautiful. And a woman that looks like that has to have her own special scent.
Oh, thank you. Maybe you could tell me what you think of this scent.
I like that.
This may be the best of all. Oh, you dirty boy, you. Oh. Donald, I thought you were a gentleman.
You can't say I didn't try.
Like what, do we forget all this stuff? Like, what's going on? I feel like a lot of people just like memory hold this shit, which this one makes sense. to memory hole because it's so bad. Like that one is like, it gives you psychic damage when you watch it. I said, man's a rapist even in his commercials. True. Anyway, Ruby Giuliani, not Rudy. Anyway, so yeah, he loves Broadway, dude. Trump has not previously made the comparison, but he did write a 2004 book that his favorite Broadway show is Evita by Andrew Lloyd Webber, starring Patti LuPone. I saw it 6 times, mostly with Ivana. He likes Elton John too. Remember how Elton John was like, oh yeah, I heard he likes me, or you know, he's like, Elton John was like being canceled by people, which is so funny. You can't cancel Elton John, you're out of your mind. But like, people were upset at Elton John for not immediately dismissing Donald Trump, saying he likes him a lot. And he loves the Village People too. This is a zesty man.
I go to places when we want background music. That's beautiful. It's great. Everybody likes it. But you go there and it's opening night for one of the most successful plays, musicals ever, I would say. Maybe the most, but certainly one of the most. And it was sort of cool to see a letter where I'm opening a show on Broadway.
A show on Broadway. Remember musicals, folks? Chinese coronavirus took that away from us. We used to listen to musicals, but we no longer can listen. We can't even watch. This is why I say Trump is ace biromantic, okay? He is a biromantic asexual man, okay? That's why he says he likes to kiss the boys and the girls. I'll kiss the boys too. Honestly, it's kind of sad this pathetic man can't enjoy the things he likes publicly because of the culture he fosters. No, he don't give a shit. What are you talking about? He's talking to Steve Bannon about how much he loves Andrew Lloyd Webber. No, he doesn't care at all. He openly does say he likes those things. The funniest part about it is that's why when he has this like cult like following, he goes up on his rallies and he talks about that sissy Graydon Carter. Okay? Ain't nobody in Michigan gives a shit about Graydon Carter. Are you insane? They just go along with it. They're like, hell yeah, sir. I think Graydon Carter is a sissy. Vanity Fair parties have really been lackluster in the last couple of years. I know. You're right, sir. I hate Graydon Carter. New York Fashion Week is falling off, brother. Yeah, I'm a Alabama Republican lifelong. And let me tell you, when Donald Trump came to my town where there's no active sewage system, and he started talking about that sissy Graydon Carter, that pansy who sucks at throwing Vanity Fair parties, and that really spoke to me, okay? I hate my coastal elite libtards. For that reason and that reason alone. Here's a clip of you double down on why you think Trump is zesty. Never happened before. We've had gay presidents. We've had bi presidents. We've never had a president that is also technically ace and aromantic. Those are 3 massive reasons why I will be voting for Donald Trump. I can't even get myself to say it. Someone's going to clip that and be like, oh, he said it. Please stop calling him ace. No, Trump is ace. Trump has never had sex for sexual gratification. Like, I know that in my heart, okay? And also, just because someone is ace doesn't mean they're a good person, okay? Automatically. What the fuck are you talking about? Lincoln was bisexual, yes. Donald Trump absolutely is ace, okay? Absolutely. He has never had sex with a woman for actual sexual desire. It is only to it's only to enforce power, and it's like a thing. Like, he likes pretty things and he likes having pretty things around him. Okay? He likes having pretty objects around him, and that's why he only sees women as like objects of desire, and that they're aesthetically like nice to look at, And that's why I'm kind of shocked about the Laura Loomer situation. Okay? Like, women are, for him, status symbols. You have good status. Other men respect you more if you have sexy women around you. Okay? Like, the only reason why he cares, yeah, he likes pretty women around him because he likes the way men react to him having women around him. Yeah. Bro is not A's. You have brain damage. He 100% has never felt longing for a woman beyond just like having them around. You know, you got to reproduce every now and then, obviously, consensually and also non-consensually, as we know. Is this a Hasanabi bit or a genuine belief of yours? No, it started off as a Hasanabi bit, but then it became a genuine belief of mine. I do think that Donald Trump is ace. Like, he will be outwardly sexual, or like he will very rarely, I guess, like the way he's talked about his own daughter, I think kind of goes back to like narcissism, because that's a piece of him. Like, he is very proud of her because she's beautiful and he created a beautiful thing. And I think it's because he's so narcissistic that like, he's like, look, I made this thing that's hot. I want to fuck myself. Like that type of situation. Because surprisingly enough, he has never been outwardly horny in that exact same way about any other woman. As far as I know, I have never heard Donald Trump be outwardly horny in the same way that he has like talked about Ivanka at all, ever. Okay? What about grab him by the pussy? Grab him by the pussy, literally, bro, he raped 75 women. Dog, rape has nothing to do with sexual gratification. What's wrong with you guys? This is like this is like basic shit. This literally is about, rape is not about like, oh, I was really horny and that's why it happened. It is straight up about enforcing your will on someone. It is about power. Harvey Weinstein doesn't even have a dick, okay? I think he has like a gangrene on his cock or some shit. Do you not remember? How the did he rape so many women? Rape is directly about power. That's what you're getting like sexual gratification from. Not the actual act itself. Yeah, rape is not about sex at all. Rape is not about like in most circumstances, like sexual assault and rapes directly happen as a consequence of like wanting to enforce your power over another person and deriving some satisfaction from that. Weinstein's dick was the color and shape of a rotten egg, according to victims and attorneys' court testimony. Yeah. Why does he hate Don Jr.? Shouldn't he be horny when talking about him as well? What? No, Don Jr. is disgusting. At least Ivanka is like hot. Ivanka is a liberal elite until the, Trump presidential run. And even after that, she was still in those circles. Ivanka is everything he wanted to be his whole life. Someone who is like broadly accepted by liberal elites. Donald Trump's anger and resentment in New York towards the bicoastal elites that, perfectly played into this narrative in 2016, especially directly came from his desire to be welcomed by by this crowd that found him to be crass and rude and silly. They never actually welcomed him. Hasan can't conceive rape or sexual assault. Wait, what? Anyway, let's get back to Laura Loomer. Now that we, Don Jr. is everything he hates about himself, just like directly in his face. The ugly, annoying, nervousness, like a nervous energy. Eric, too. He hates him. He hates them both.
Some of former President Trump's allies.
Exactly right, George. Now we are hearing from some Republicans who are voicing concerns that Donald Trump is growing increasingly close to this far-right activist.
I'm Dante mentioned you in a video.
Yo, TC weird, and I'm Dante's vouching for him. And, like, he don't care. Like, let's stick within that. All that outside stuff is, like, that's like Hasan. That's like Hasan stuff. And I don't do that. I don't do that, man. I don't want to get into That's when the stream just get boring and then like people actually arguing and actually get mad, bro. I don't know how Hasan be on stream every day like this, just like this, man.
Okay, I don't do mouth
why
noises.
are we down to the same? Like, why are we supporting Tom Cruise when the world is actually No, the world is actually like. You guys need to understand what you guys don't understand is it's like, yo, damn, you really just be sitting there. I can't do that, bruh. The second nigga say something stupid, I'm like, yo, shut your bitch ass up, nigga.
He's right, and I should probably do it less. He's right, and I probably should do it less. Okay, that was a fun. That was 10-10. That was a 10-10 perfect demonstration of what I do. Like the only thing you get added to that is if I like get up to piss or serve a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour. When there's a 3-minute ad break at the top of the hour, I also tell you that if you no longer want to see those ads, all you need to do is subscribe for $6. Even though it's September, it's actually 30% off, or for free with a Twitch Prime. By connecting your Amazon Prime account to your Twitch account, you get one free Prime subscription a month. Use it on your favorite broadcaster. Hopefully that's me. Here is the 3-minute ad break now. You can also get gifted a sub if you're lucky. Boom. Ultra Instinct. I locked in. Adrian is online. Thank you for the 10 gifted subs. Hasan, look at my chat message. He got your ass, bro. I did. You said he got your ass, bro. I got it. Quantum Monk. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Gum. Thank you for the 5 gifted. Yeah, we're going to do the Trump presser in California in a second. Let's finish this Laura Loomer segment.
Laura Loomer, as you note, is someone who has espoused conspiracy theories. She has used racist rhetoric in describing Kamala Harris, and now some of former President Trump's closest allies in the party
Tora Tragus. Thank you for the 5 gifted.
Are urging him to distance himself from her, George.
Mary Bruce, thanks very much.
I would give Trump a smooch if he wanted. I would probably. It'd be hard not to. All right, let's get to it. Donald Trump, is he piping Laura Loomer? This is a question that is looming on everyone's minds. Let's take a look.
Republican colleagues or your allies who are concerned about your close relationship with Laura Loomer?
Well, I don't know what they would say. Laura's been a supporter of mine, just like a lot of people are supporters, and she's been a supporter of mine. She speaks very positively of the campaign. I'm not sure why you asked that question, but Laura is a supporter. I don't control Laura. Laura has to say what she wants. She's a...
Damn, the way he's talking about Laura fondly. Laura, I don't control her. She's a fiery woman. I can't control her even if I wanted to, believe me, folks. She's so fiery. She's so fiery, Laura. She's a real fierce woman, kind of like Evita. Evita, my love. Laura.
She's a free spirit. Well, I don't know.
She's a free spirit. She's a free spirit. She's fiery. She's a passionate woman.
I mean, look, I can't tell Laura what to do. Laura's a supporter. I have a lot of supporters. But I don't know what exactly you're referring to. That's okay. Yeah, please. I just don't know. Laura's a supporter. I don't know. She is a strong person. She's got strong opinions, and I don't know what she said, but that's not up to me. She's a supporter. Please.
Traveling with you.
This goes against your narrative of being ace. No, dude, he's still ace, okay? He's still ace. I'll stand by that. But also, briefly, for the sake of, having a funny moment, I don't know what he sees in Laura Loomer. Not to come across like Marjorie Taylor Greene, who's like very obviously jealous because Trump has like a slot for at least one ugly woman that doesn't fit the standard of the women that he surrounds himself with. And like, it's clear to me that Marjorie wanted to be that like freakish demon looking woman by his side. And Trump completely sidestepped her and went to Laura instead. I don't know what he sees in her. I don't know. But they're fighting, and it's really funny that they're fighting.
On your plane.
Okay, a lot of people do. It's a very big plane.
Come on, Laura isn't ugly, dude. Bro, Laura Loomer is not ugly because there's a different category, okay? That's it. Like, that's the only reason. Because, like, saying that she's ugly would not fit the term. She is in the Marjorie Taylor Greene category, okay? Which is like a different thing. It's just like it's not like, it doesn't read as human. You're like, oh, I've seen this before. This is a hard to look at type of situation. And I think this is just something that you see normally in, like, I don't know, like horror movies or something. Like, she's scary. Scary would be the term to describe her physical appearance.
She made racist remarks about your opponent. She also espoused conspiracy theories.
Chatters, you don't need to be that quick, okay? There's 1, 2, 3, 4 chatters that had immediate links ready to go in the chat. Ain't nobody wants to see Laura Loomer that much, man. Come on now. I'm personally trying to avoid seeing Laura Loomer while talking about her, and you're like, no, let me prove that she's ugly. Like, we know, man. Why do you got that shit bookmarked?
Is about 9/11. Do you disavow those remarks?
Well, to see what the remarks are. You're telling me for the first time we're here discussing the destruction.
That's so dumb. Media is so dumb. Stop talking. Stop talking about Laura Loomer's 9/11 remarks. She's done so much worse shit, okay? I don't know why they're like, oh, she said it was an inside job. Like, 1, a shit ton of Americans also believe it. And 2, it's the exact type of sentiment that is like vague enough that you can actually show conclusive evidence, okay? Like, there's enough like lack of cooperation amongst intelligence agencies, and the fact that like the hijackers were trained on US soil, the fact that Osama bin Laden was personally also trained by the American State Department at the time when he was a counter-revolutionary fighter against the USSR. Like, please, okay, stop being a truther. I'm not saying like George W. Bush did 9/11 personally, okay? And that's not what I'm saying at all. But the idea that like what do you call it? Like that is one of her worst statements, when it's like there are defensible aspects of that sentiment that you can point to real historical evidence, is silly, okay? I'm not like a jet fuel doesn't melt steel beams kind of guy, okay? That's not what I'm saying at all. Do you understand? I think it's personally stupid to hyper focus on that when there's like a million other things that are way worse that she has done in the past week, okay? It's like it's literally like shitting on Adolf Hitler by bringing up that he was ass cheeks at painting, okay? Like, I feel like that's not the worst thing he did, okay? I don't know. Don't call me crazy. I feel like his art is bad, objectively, but like, that's probably not the worst thing that he did, you know? I feel like there's a list out there of significantly worse things that he did, you know? Yeah, it's like saying O.J. Simpson was a bad tipper.
Of San Francisco and California by a person that's
9/11 truthism, bad at painting. Yeah. When we're talking about Laura Loomer, the Adolf Hitler comparison is not, is not a ridiculous comparison to make. Obviously, in terms of like Hitler's magnitude of evil, yes, but it's in the same direction. We are talking about a person who has called herself a white nationalist. What the? Oh my God. Isn't she Jewish though? Yes, it doesn't matter. So is Stephen Miller, and he's a Nazi too.
Running for president, so I don't even know what you're talking about. I do know that she may have said something based on what you're telling me, but I don't know what she said.
Yeah, the media should ask about this.
Your eyes look so good. You're like beautiful.
Thank you.
You're like an Aryan degenerate goddess.
Thank you.
I love it.
Thank you. You're Aryan too.
I know, but I'm Jewish.
It's okay.
The Nazis hate me.
It's fine.
The alt-right people want to put me in a gas chamber because they're obsessed with the Jews.
I think they're just memeing on you, but it's okay.
They're just jealous because I have big tits and an Ashkenazi IQ.
Yeah, so
oh, all right.
Bye.